This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Thursday, January 9. The Barbados Water Authority and the Barbados Workers Union are working closely to broker a new deal that will usher in an any 5 out of 7 day work week policy for employees. It's a system BWA workers have been suggesting to management since 2013 to help improve the efficiency of the statutory body. The move will reportedly save the BWA thousands of dollars in overtime payments. Following a more than 3-hour meeting at Solidarity House, BW General Secretary Tony Moore told Barbados Today it's a significant move and every effort is being made to ensure workers are not disadvantaged.
We are not rushing it. We understand the need for it, as we understood the need for it almost 7 years ago now. But we are working to ensure that we don't focus on timelines as much as we focus on outcome. And the outcome and the objective that both parties have is one that will see greater efficiency of operations, and the public at large should be the beneficiaries of whatever discussions and final positions we reach.
BWA General's Manager Keith Roy Halliday could not confirm that the change in policy would not prevent further restructuring, but he said it would ensure a more efficient use of the authority's resources and better service to the public.
We want to make sure that we maximize the resources that we have aboard, to the point where if we have to do some realignment, we'll do that. We're not setting out to deliberately retrench or to reduce the workforce as much as we're trying to make sure that the resources we have are much better aligned and that will become a lot more relevant, particularly where the delivery of customer service is concerned. So we can never sit here squarely and commit to not having any adjustment at any level. But we could commit here to say, just as the GS would have indicated to you, that we're more concerned with making sure that the outcomes are plausible and make much better sense. It is a process at the end of the day. And we've started it so far, I would say, fairly well in terms of at least 3 long sessions, meetings we've had. It's a lot of detailing. You have to drill down to every single department, but not so on its own, but you have to look at the interplay between the respective departments, so that the focus at the end of the day is to make sure that what we deliver makes sense, it is transparent.
Caribbean officials opened talks on a range of trade-related issues on Wednesday to come up with recommendations for the region's trade ministers in time for the 12th WTO Ministerial Conference to be held in June. These issues include WTO reform, fisheries subsidies, agriculture, trade and services, investment facilitation, and electronic commerce. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott expressed concern about the state of the WTO.
It is clear to all of us that the World Trade Organization has been at a major crossroad for some time now. Despite numerous meetings taking place almost daily in Geneva and in other places, it appears to many that there is a lack of political will to advance the mandates agreed at ministerial conferences. Admittedly and collectively, members have failed to deliver on the Doha development agenda in a meaningful manner, and yet have embarked on new, albeit exciting areas of discussion. This is a concern for small states like Barbados, as many implementation issues remain unresolved.
The Young Men Christians Association is struggling to raise funds to build a new multi-purpose facility at its Pinfold Street Bridgetown home. Head of the local branch of the 175-year-old Global Youth Organization, Emerald Holder, told Barbados Today that fundraising efforts have not been going well. He called on Barbadians at home and abroad to join with the business community to give generously.
We're asking Barbadians and overseas embassies who have a budget for these sort of fundings to reach out to us and help us to find a home for the youth in Barbados. And that's what we want to see happening.
Holder said the planned multipurpose building will allow the association to carry out its present programs, including a range of sports and other activities.
The redevelopment will include a building that will entail us to do our present program, which was the main thing with the swimming, basketball, hockey, dancing, the whole skill set that we are presently doing. And we are hoping that with that we are going to be able to attract younger persons in the community. We are not going back to the bread and basket accommodation that is known for the YMCA. We're not going to go back to that because we realize that we don't have the expertise to drive that kind of business. So we are going to just focus on youth and youth development and programming for those things.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
On the regional scene in Trinidad and Tobago, inmates charged for possession of less than 60 grams of marijuana prior to the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act are free to make an application before the court to have their cases dismissed. Word of this from Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs Fitzgerald Hines. Nisa John Mohammed of TV6 News has more in this report.
Persons awaiting trial or those who have been charged for possession of less than 60 grams of marijuana prior to the decriminalization of the drug are free to make an application before the court to have their cases dismissed and their records expunged. Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General Fitzgerald Hines says that this was decided after the court held discussions on the matter at the Hall of Justice on Monday. Justice Norton Jack, speaking at the Hall of Justice, added that it is important that this message be communicated, as he is of the belief that many are unaware of this information.
Gives him an opportunity to have the matter against him discharged, removed, and therefore the case drops. Or if he is already convicted and serving time, for him to be released from the prison. There are over 100 persons in prison from the prison records in that category, to be released from the prison, and then they will have their records expunged.
According to the court, persons must make their own individual application.
Further afield, a Ukrainian airliner fell to the earth in a fireball shortly after takeoff from Tehran on Wednesday, killing all 176 people on board in a crash that sparked an international scramble to establish the cause. More in this report from Reuters Television.
The deadly crash of a Boeing airplane in Tehran was likely caused by a technical malfunction, intelligence sources told Reuters Wednesday. The Ukrainian International Airlines Boeing 737 en route to Kiev crashed just hours after Iran fired missiles at bases housing U.S. forces in Iraq, leading to speculation that the plane may have been attacked. But 5 intelligence sources, 3 Americans, 1 European, and 1 Canadian, told Reuters the initial assessment of Western intelligence agencies was that the plane had suffered a technical malfunction and had not been brought down by a missile. The Canadian source said there was evidence one of the jet's engines had overheated. The plane appeared to burst into a fireball shortly after takeoff, killing all 176 people on board. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Wednesday that at least 63 Canadians were on board and that a total of 138 passengers on the flight were connecting to Canada.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Azuma Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.